Well, the streak has come to an end. It ends at 16 as the Vegas Golden Knights defeat the Edmonton Oilers 3-1 here at T-Mobile Arena. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Oil Stream Postgame Show. Tom Gazzola with you from press level at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Joaquin Gage will be joining us shortly. Zach Tacum and YouTube Trev. Oh, we got Cass tonight. Zach Tacum and YouTube Trev holding things down back at EST HQ. You can get in on the conversation to discuss tonight's 3-1 Oilers loss to the Golden Knights via the text line 780-218-9999. I see the nasty chat going hard already. Tough one for the Oil. I see some text. People are pissed off. There was such good vibes here in the building, in and around the arena, down the strip. Tons of Oilers fans, a couple thousand, I would say, in the rink. And the Oilers played, I thought, a pretty damn good game. Adin Hill made some phenomenal saves, got lucky with a couple of bars, and then the Oilers just given up. Well, you know what I'm going to say? Chandler Stevenson, that was a great shot by Chandler Stevenson. Yes, they were the Oilers in their own zone, waving sticks, but a couple of good plays there. And this game, I really thought Edmonton had a great chance to win it. In all honesty, I thought they controlled a lot of the play. I thought they created a ton of opportunities. They were patient. And Adin Hill stood tall. And then when the Golden Knights got that lead in the third period, their defense is tough to get by. So let's get into it as we break down Edmonton's first loss in basically forever. We can welcome in Matt Kassian, our game analyst, as he gets set to rejoin us here. Hello, Cass. You get ready to rock. Unmute yourself, rocking the Elks gear. And I'll start with just your thoughts before we go into the game story and the stats from tonight, from what we saw here.
Well, you won 16 in a row, Tom. So let's not be grumpies about it. Let's not sit and blame the officials. And I agree with pretty much with what you said, Tom. I thought the Edmonton Oilers played a great game. Now, I thought the Vegas Golden Knights also played a great game. It really was a playoff-style hockey game that could have gone either way. It was the type of game, and I think you felt that right from the drop of the puck, that this game could go either way, and it could be one play that makes the difference between winning and losing this one. And Stevenson had a great shot. I mean, there was a great shot. It wasn't like there was a monumental breakdown by the Oilers. It wasn't like it was a 5-alarm turnover and everyone spinning around and out of position. It was a great shot. And you lose a hockey game to a very good team that you're going to have to find a way to beat. But Tom, if playoffs against the Vegas Golden Knights go like that, I think the Oilers, you play like that, I think the Oilers usually win that hockey game when you play like that. He'll make some great saves. You maybe didn't bury on a couple opportunities you had that I don't want to say you wasted them, but you had some chances that you didn't put the puck in the net. You definitely could have. So, hey, they were right there in it. It was still a good game. They battled in it till the end, and 16 wins in a row, Tom. Nothing to rub your nose at.
No, and Cass, they haven't lost since, December 19th to the New York Islanders. Like, it had been, I mean, they hadn't lost in 2024. They went clean right through January, and the Golden Knights, a thorn in their sides. The Oilers get one more crack at the Golden Knights later this season, and I'm sure they're going to remember this. And I know that the Oilers were talking about it this morning in the locker room about what happened in the postseason in this building. Listen, if people are going, it's cursed, it's the Golden Knights. No, these are two good teams, like Cass said. I'm just going to reiterate, battling hard, and it could have gone either way. And a couple of posts and a couple of nice saves by Adin Hill, and we're talking about an Oilers loss for the first time in, like I said, forever, December 19th. All right, let's get into the game story from tonight. The scoring summary in the first period. Conor McDavid gets the party started. Short-handed, 2 seconds left on the Oilers penalty on a feed from Leon Draisaitl. McDavid's got 21 on the year. The other assist going to Vinny Desharnais. That goal coming just 4:35 into the game. But late in the first period, Nic Roy would bang one home on the doorstep. Alex Pietrangelo getting the assist at 18:06, 1-1 after one. No scoring in the second period until The third period where we saw Chandler Stevenson scoring his ninth. Absolutely fantastic shot by Stevenson. We were saying maybe there was a screen. I don't know. I just thought it was a great shot. And, this guy can score, and he absolutely buried it. Marchessault and Cotter, the assist. Cass, I'm going to ask you something about that goal in a second when I wrap up the game story and the game stats. William Karlsson into the empty net at 19:27 to seal the deal for the Golden Knights. Karlsson's 16th. Had one taken away from him. Great stick. Deflected the puck out of play on the empty net attempt about a minute earlier on Karlsson. Stevenson and Stone picking up the helpers at 19:27. 3-1 is the final. The scoring summary, Gabe stats, shots on goal, 31-26 in favor of the Oilers. Edmonton better on the faceoff dot, 52.8% to 47.2. Power play goes 0 for 1. PK, 2 for 2. Hits 18-15 in favor of the Golden Knights. Block shots, 25 for Vegas, 17 for the Oilers. And Vegas had 3 of the top 6 shot blockers in the league last season. Of course, Martinez and Pietrangelo were leading the way there. Giveaways 6 officially for Vegas to 4 for Edmonton. Takeaways 12 for the Golden Knights to the Oilers 2. That game-winning goal by Chandler Stevenson, Cass, I kind of said like sticks kind of flailing and swinging at the Golden Knights and a couple of nice passes. Marchessault finds Stevenson. Great shot. How would you break that one down? Who's at fault, or was it just a great play?
Well, a little bit of both. I mean, it was a great play, a little bit scrambly. Cody Ceci kind of gets spun around and on the backside of his guy there, where in a perfect situation, he probably keeps his feet on the goal line. Line. Now, Connor McDavid does recognize that Ceci is beat, and so he kind of lunges out there. Again, in a perfect world, and a little bit tough for because centermen aren't defensemen. They're not. It's typically you have a centerman and defenseman in the corner, so this would be another defenseman. You want to hold strong side post. So McDavid wouldn't necessarily lunge out. Now he's worried about a wraparound, but that's not the dangerous play. Stevenson is a dangerous guy here. So if he holds on just a split second, probably able to get a stick in that lane better, maybe disrupt the shot and get in there. Again, it's not like it's horrible. It wasn't like it was awful. I didn't necessarily see sticks flailing all over the place on that one.
Well, I thought they were waving at first, and I kind of watched it again, but I'm leaning towards that was a nice goal.
It was a great goal.
Created a nice,
Stevenson, as you mentioned, he's a guy that knows how to score. And if you watch his path, starts in front of the net and just finds some soft ice where he knows that there's not going to be anyone here. There's going to be some space. The wingers aren't back in the zone yet. And again, in a perfect world, Connor McDavid lets CC recover and he trusts Stuart Skinner to stop a wraparound. I mean, that's where you hold that strong side so nothing comes through you. And again, then I think you either have another body in the lane, so you have 2 bodies in the lane to get a piece of that shot, or you have the ability to get a stick on that puck better. And it's even then, I mean, it's a great pass. Like McDavid is stick on puck there. If you look, like there's a foot of space between McDavid's stick and I can't remember who that was that was made that pass. I'd have to double check. But there wasn't a lot of space there. Was it Marchessault? Yeah. So another pretty skilled player, Conn Smythe Trophy winner that knows how to produce offense, and he makes a great pass to a guy that doesn't hesitate. It's not like Stevenson holds onto that puck. I mean, it's on a stick, off a stick, and picks a great spot with a little bit of a screen. I mean, Stuart Skinner does a good job of taking up most of the net, but Stevenson puts it up high and finds some space there. So yeah, I mean, again, you could, and maybe it is nitpicking to say, well, McDavid could hold for a second there. But some great plays still by the Golden Knights to make that happen. So it's not like it's not like a disaster defensively. And I thought, Tommy, I mean, you end up giving 3 goals, but 2 on Stuart Skinner. They played a pretty solid game defensively. Like there wasn't a ton there, and so did Vegas. There wasn't a ton there at the other end, but Tommy, it was a nice play.
Man, Cass, like that was 2 good teams going at it. I thought the Oilers actually were the better team, carried a lot of the play, especially in the second period. And even at times in the third, although when the Golden Knights got that goal, they buckled down and they know how to, kill a clock. And that's part of what the Oilers are going to have to break through probably come postseason. But I did think that the Oilers did play a good game, which is interesting. And I say that now because I'm reading the nasty chat and I See this one from Ham Sandwich. Ham Sandwich, great handle, says, why is this team terrible coming out of any rest/break? I honestly didn't think they're terrible. Were there some guys that, did not have particularly great games? I thought Evan Bouchard was a little casual at times with the puck. There's some chatter up here in the press box that, maybe Foegele wasn't going or hasn't been tonight, wasn't as good as he had been during this stretch. But Cass, unless I'm missing something, I thought they played overall a pretty good game.
Yeah, I thought so too. And our Kimmett in. Sorry, I kept saying McDavid. It was Warren Foegele. I just when I had pulled it up, it was a 7 and a turn. So yeah, sorry.
With white tape, yeah.
Yeah, it was Foegele, not McDavid on that play. So even more so, I mean, you have a winger then that's down in a defenseman centerman position. So it's not like it was a horrible, horrendous mistake, but one there. And yeah, Tommy, they played a good game. We'll have to see what the high danger scoring chances end up being. We'll have to see what that final tally is, but I would be willing to bet heading into it that as we look back at the stats on this one, Edmonton, I think, outchanced them, and they had more opportunities. I think they forced Hill to make better saves than Stuart Skinner made. And they had a couple opportunities. They just didn't bury it. And Hill had some help too. I mean, you go to that, I think it was in the first period, you had the cross crease. I can't remember who the Vegas Golden Knights player was that got a stick on it, but that puck was going in. Yep. Hill was nowhere to be seen, and you get a block, and the puck goes out of play instead of in the back of Vegas's net. So you had some help for the Vegas Golden Knights, or Aiden Hill had some help from the rest of the Vegas Golden Knights as well. So Tommy, it wasn't a bad game. Again, maybe there were some guys a little bit sloppy and not great, but no one was horrible. Like, we can't look at anyone and say, like, oh, he was absolutely garbage tonight. At least in my opinion.
Yeah. Dofish P says, get used to the playoff officiating. I've seen a few people talking about the officiating tonight. I know that they put away the whistles. Cass, I don't know how many, like, again, I'm watching up here. I'm like, hey, good vibe. They're letting them go a little bit. How egregious was it? Because to me, up here and then watching the replay, I'm like, I kind of like them letting it go tonight.
Yeah, they let the teams play, and I think Edmonton was better 5-on-5 than Vegas. Again, they had more opportunities. They had more grade A chances. Hill made some saves, and they didn't bury a couple of their opportunities. Like the refs didn't win or lose this one for the Edmonton Oilers. The Edmonton Oilers played a good game. The Vegas Golden Knights played a good game, and they end up with a little bit more, that one play that makes a difference, where Edmonton just didn't get that one play from their guys when they had the opportunity.
Daniel K saying officiating not the issue tonight. 780-218-9999. I'm going to get to the text line right away here. Tom Gazzola live on location at T-Mobile Arena, up in press level as the Oilers fall 3-1. Matt Kassian holding things down at his satellite studios back in good old E-Town. And then the boys, Zach DeCum and YouTube Trev, keeping things running back at the EST HQ. Okay, let's get to some texts here, Cass. People obviously frustrated. They didn't want to see the streak end. They wanted the Oilers to tie the Penguins of the 92-93 season and then potentially beat the Penguins record on Friday in Anaheim. That is not going to happen as the Oilers lose 3-1. Let's get to some texts because, people are frustrated, but let's hear some thoughts. Pillman says, let's go up here. No name on this one. Came in earlier, said, game story, Oilers happy with the outside and no courage to step up in front of the net. Bouchard sloppy. Nice listing puck battles like their second assist on the power play. Adam says, is this the new decade of darkness? I think that one's coming in a bit facetiously from Adam. Well played. This one from Vance Van Vandervan says, mark my words, Vegas will eat that celebration in the postseason. What happened? I saw some flamingos being thrown on the ice as I was getting set up. Fill me in on that one. And then this one says, wasn't impressed with Vegas at all. Oilers skated circles around those guys all night. Oilers beat themselves tonight. And then Norman, a combine, says, well, boys, 2 soft defensive plays by the Oilers D. Hill shutting the door. Not out goalie, just didn't get the puck across the line. Now you boys can play and have an awesome Vegas trip. Talk to you soon. Norm, thank you. Appreciate it. And then Justin is mad. I'm going to – he says no balls. Wow. Wow, Justin, there's a lot of expletives in here. I can't read any of this stuff. I hope you're okay, pal. Maybe a couple deep breaths. And then Southside Strangler says, just like in the playoffs, team played great, but Skinner was just not good enough. Southside Strangler with that. Cass, what would you
Two
say
goals
about Skinner?
against. 2 goals against. I mean, you didn't get any help on the first one.
No, and that was Ekholm, right? Ekholm's waving,
Ekholm,
Bouchard,
well, yeah,
lethargic.
well, you could call it lethargic, but you're in that instance. So on that first goal, they're in fronting, and sometimes that's how coaches want defensemen to play: be in front of the guy, try to get pucks through, and pucks rebounds, especially shots from the point. Not all the time they sit right there. Sometimes they kind of bounce out, and maybe Ekholm a little bit slow to react to the puck staying there in spinning and finding his guy. But let's not put that one on Skinner. He makes the first save, doesn't get any help on the second. And the second goal was, as we discussed, it was a great shot. It was a great shot by a guy that scores goals. So, it's not like Skinner gave up 5. He gave up 2 goals. Now the Edmonton Oilers only got 1. So I don't buy that one bit. I mean, Skinner just won you 12 games in a row, that he started. So
Edmonton had also won 9 on the road in a row. So like this team was red hot. EA gets in there. EA says, well, Tommy, all streaks need to end. Unfortunately, the pretender status will come into the conversation for this streak as they were mostly mid to terrible teams. Oilers needed to play a legitimate team to be humbled and show that the Oilers are not close to competing against Vegas in the playoffs. Some trade deadline questions are still there, as they will not beat Vegas with this current roster. That's from EA. I'm a little bit surprised, I'm not going to lie, at how harsh some fans are on the team right now.
People are angry. I mean,
seriously.
To say that they're not, or they can't compete with the Vegas Golden Knights after watching that game, they outplayed the Vegas Golden Knights. Like, are you expecting them to beat them 6-0 every game? Vegas is a really good team. Now, do they do the trade deadline thing? I have been of the opinion that they still need to add at the trade deadline. Now, you don't need to blow everything up. You don't need to do something ludicrous. But to say, okay, we want to add some depth and maybe add a piece or 2 pieces, depending on what the cost is to get better. Well, yeah, I think they're still looking at that. And I think you still want, especially, Tommy, for me, especially on the defensive side of it, because you haven't had to deal with defensive injuries. And if someone gets hurt in the playoffs, you want someone that is going to be able to step in and give you some minutes. So yeah, I'm all for that. But I don't agree with, and I get that it's emotional and you really wanted them to win today. And it's, even worse that it's the Las Vegas Golden Knights that knocked you out of the playoffs and stole that Stanley Cup from you last year. I get that there's a lot of emotion tied to that, but Edmonton can beat this team. Edmonton can absolutely beat this team. They were the better team tonight.
They beat them this year, Cass. They beat them earlier this year.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
They have, but I mean, people just, I mean, it's emotional. So I'm gonna chalk some of this up just to, it's just Vegas. So people are emotional. Maybe had
pisses people off.
Yeah, adult beverage or 2, and they're fired up, which is Tommy, which is okay. It's okay.
I get it.
It's okay to be fired up. Yep.
It's event sesh. We know that it's event sesh, but I get it. But Andrew in the nasty chat goes, really? You're surprised about Oilers fans overreacting? No, Andrew, I know, but I wanted to, I was like, whoa, like really digging in. Some people are on this team. Maybe they were just starved for Oilers hockey and they finally get it. And the result, obviously disappointing.
Tommy, they should have they should win every game the rest of the season. Win every game the rest of the season. Actually, that would be great. Let's just I want to go back to that text and pick apart one more part of it.
Okay, go for it.
Because I think, if you're going to criticize not criticize maybe isn't the right word, but to say that critique, there you go. I think it's a fair critique to say that some of the teams Edmonton beat in the streak weren't great teams.
Absolutely.
That's a fair critique. And to say that now you run up against a better team. And if you would have played some of these teams like a Vegas, I mean, they did beat some really good teams as well during the streak. Look at New York. New York's a really good team.
Kings were good. Yeah.
Pretty good
Flyers
team.
Were playing good.
Yeah, you beat good teams, but to say that some of those wins came against softer teams with softer schedule, that is fair. To say that now they get a little dose of humility here to say that, hey, we're a really good team, we're playing really well, but we can still get beat by other really good teams. That's okay. I'm fine with that, and I'm fine with saying that this could be I don't want to say like a wake-up call, but hey, yeah, we need to be even better. Still, we have to improve. Still, we have to play, just it's an even higher level, especially against these teams. To say that could have an impact. And yeah, I mean, I have time for that, just not for they can't beat Vegas conversation, because I don't agree with that.
Yeah. This one from Byron, like, I'm going to say this. I thought Evan Bouchard was a bit casual, especially in the first period, a little bit better in the second. And I'll just say that leading into Byron's text. Byron texts in, says, Bouchard, shoot the puck, end of the third, shoot the puck, get pucks to the net. I know he's trying to get it through. I know that the Golden Knights are one of the best shot blocking teams in the league. They have some absolute puck munchers on the back end, but yeah, casual at times is how I would describe Evan Bouchard and his game tonight, especially in the first period. Cass, am I off base on that one?
No, I think maybe a little bit, and we know that when he's not playing well, the casualness follows him a little bit too much. But we have talked it numerous times in the offensive zone how his casualness and playing patient and waiting for lanes to open up has really served them well. Now, I towards the end of the game, is it more even if it gets blocked, you create chaos around the net? Should you be more focused on getting the puck there and trying to create something via that method versus trying to find a perfectly open guy? Sure. To say maybe he was a little bit casual, maybe a little bit casual to start the game, but I don't think, same thing with him. It's not, Tom, it's not like he was atrocious today.
No,
it's not like he made horrible mistakes and big defensive mistakes. Maybe a little casual working his way into it. Would you like to see him put the puck to the net towards the end of the game when there was an opportunity?
Yeah,
sure.
Of course.
That's fine to say.
Of course. A couple of nasty chats that I want to read off. D. White liked Connor Brown's game tonight. See, Gerg also said Brown was buzzing. What'd you see from 28 and White?
Yeah, I mean, let's look at the
You want his stat line?
Score sheet. I was gonna. No, I got it right here.
Okay,
I got it right here.
Zero
goals. Shocker. I know at this point.
Yeah.
0 assists, 0 points, 0 plus minus, 0 pims, 2 shots, 1 hit, 11-0-4 on ice. Just more of the same, Tommy, because I think it was just more of the same from Connor Brown.
Yeah. I do want to bring up something that I did like from the Oilers today, and that was the third line. Perry, Holloway, and McLeod. Like, I think there is something there. Like, they had some really good looks. I like Perry, how he's working with the two guys who can burn. They're starting to read off of each other a little bit better. They got some opportunities. I think that might be something moving forward that could stick, Cass. Now, don't get me wrong. The blender can get out if things go sideways for a little while, but this team's been cruising lately, obviously. But I think that there might be something there. Like, to me, that has the makings of a really solid third line, Cass. What did you see from those three tonight?
Yeah, well, you got a little bit of jump in there. You got a little bit of grit in there. I still really like Dylan Holloway's game since he came back from injury. Like he's continued to look pretty good. It has the characteristics of being an effective line that can generate some puck possession. I do like Ryan McLeod right now too, and I thought he was solid again today. Still looks like he's got some confidence with the puck through the neutral zone, which has been huge. That he's not just deferring, like he's actually carrying it and making some plays. So yeah, I think solid makings of a line there. Corey Perry, I think, is still working his way into it a little bit. I want to give him another 2 or 3 games. You give him another 2 games, and then I think we can fully critique and look at how he's playing and what he's doing. But the solid makings of a good line there, I think, Tommy.
I think Corey Perry probably wants to have a night on Friday, right? Like, get this thing going, maybe chip it offensively, going back to Anaheim. That would be a good way to get going and off the schneid. He's not on the Schneider. That's not the right term to use. He wants to get his first point as a member of the Oilers. He did not get one the other night, right? I don't think so.
Nope.
It's long ago since they played. All right, let's get to Dirty Curdy. Dirty Curdy doesn't shy away from his thoughts on this team. Dirty Curdy says, disappointing loss, horrible officiating, but a blessing in disguise. This team didn't need to read their own headlines like they were somehow immortal. Hopefully keeps them grounded to want to beat these slugs in the playoffs and march to the cup. CC was invisible on the winner, needed to show some courage, man up, stay in the lane. Cass, you kind of talked about that a bit. Vinny and Nurse were great, skin solid, but Fogle was wedding planning out there, and the brown out was on full display. Go start a new streak. That one from Dirty Curdy, who also chimes in with, let's keep in mind, no Eichel, no Theodore. Yeah, the Golden Knights did have a bunch of injuries, but man, they do play a solid overall game, and they like to roll 4 lines. And they do have a good program and a thing going in Henderson with their AHL team. You want to say anything about that Dirty Curdy text? Because there's a lot there to process, Cass.
Yeah, there is a lot there. Give it to me again. I want to hear it one more time.
Okay, the whole Dirty Curdy bit.
Just yeah. Give me part of it.
One more time. Dirty Curdy says, disappointing loss, horrible officiating, but a blessing in disguise. This team didn't need to read their own headlines like they were somehow immortal. Hopefully keeps them grounded to want to beat these guys in the playoffs and a march to the cup. CC invisible on the winner. Needed to show some courage. Man up. Stay in the lane. Vinny and Nurse were great. Skin solid. Fogle was wedding planning out there. And the brownout was on full display. Go start a new streak. Keep in mind, no Eichel, no Theodore. That one from Dirty Curdy.
Okay, so there is a lot there. There was too much to remember at all.
Oh, they're always Dirty Curdy.
We're all fired up.
Elaborate.
Okay, I'm going to work my way backwards a little bit. The Stuart Skinner, the Cody Ceci one. I mean, he's recovering back to the front of the net because he sees Fogle lunging out there. So his first thought is to get back to the front of the net. So he's releasing back to the front and steps over, and you have to ask yourself in that too. You I don't know if he had enough time to fully get in the lane on that, Tommy. I don't know if he had enough time to fully get in the lane on that. So I don't think certainly don't think it was a lack of courage. Now, maybe lack of recognizing the situation. Okay. Not lack of courage. Blessing in disguise. Dirty Curdy talked about this maybe being a blessing in disguise and the team, getting enthralled with their own headlines. I don't think, and Tommy, I haven't felt that this team has, and even the way they played tonight, I don't think they've been enthralled with themselves in the headlines. Now, is it a wake-up call? Yeah. Am I off on that?
No, it's just like, yeah, tough lesson. I don't even know if it's a lesson. Like, it's like, hey, yeah, you're gonna have to get your work boots on, and you're going to have these tough games the rest of the way. And if this is a team you want to catch, now the Oilers only play them one more time, and they give up 2 points in regulation to the Golden Knights, so it's going to make it that much tougher. Although they do have 5 games in hand on Vegas.
Yeah, they still could catch them with it, but it makes it tougher. I don't think that they were in their own. Just they were walking around with the big, only puffed up chests and massive heads and were just believing all the hype. I thought they played well again tonight. And is it a wake up call though? Yeah, we already talked about that a little bit to say that I think it could be a wake up call that, hey, yeah, when we're playing these good teams, guess what? We're going to have to be really good and they can still beat us. We're not, and I don't think they thought they were indestructible, but is it a lesson? Absolutely.
Yeah. The headlines thing, I definitely think that this team, the Oilers, were reading their own headlines in the early part of the season, going into the season.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was the thing. I mean, the vibe around the group, especially these last couple of months, like Cass describe it as they seem guilty about how they played or how poorly they played in the first, month and a half of the year. And I don't think that's been lost on them of where they were at 2-9-1, getting Dave Manson and Jay Woodcroft fired. So I sense that from them, and this is a tough loss in a hard fought battle. Tough one.
And you just went 16-1. So
yeah, December 19th was the last loss to the New York Islanders. Clean sweep of the month of January. All right, we do have audio and video to get to. Cass, final thoughts going into Friday's game against the Anaheim Ducks, and then we'll let you go and let you regroup for Thursday's show.
Yeah, well, hey, it's time now. You haven't lost in a while, but it's time to regroup. I mean, remember this thing and remember how much more fun it is to put together a winning streak. So as many of our absolutely astute and definitely not inebriated nasty chatters have said, and texters, time to start another one. And that's the mentality you have to have. Is we had a great run. That was a hard-fought game. Let's review the mistakes that we did make in this one, the Vegas game. But looking forward to Anaheim, it's a Western Conference opponent that you need to
go get it. Just
go get it.
Go have a weekend. Yeah,
go get it. Yep. And you're not blowing stuff up. You're not changing 80 different things. You're just going right back to, It's just next game process, because really mentally nothing should change. Nothing should change. You knew you weren't going to win every single game the rest of the year. You knew that. Now you lost one. Great teams very rarely lose 2 in a row. And from a prepping yourself already for the playoffs, even though there's a bunch of season left, you don't want to make it a habit. They made it a huge habit early in the year. I mean, they lost more than 2 in a row, a lot more than 2 in a row. So it's getting right back up. What do you do when you fall off the horse, Tommy? You get back
right
up
back
on the
on.
horse. Yeah, right back on the horse.
Cass, excellent stuff as always, my friend. Good to see you. Have a great show on Thursday. 2 Guys and a Goalie with Joaquin Gage and Dustin Nielsen. And then we'll catch up with you Friday for the Oilers and the Ducks game.
Absolutely, buddy. Hey, you just keep it between the navigational beacons tonight, okay? I will be checking up on you first thing in the morning just to make sure you're okay.
Right.
You know, I know we were talking about all the weddings and annulments that have happened in your life today, so a little bit less activity for you. Just kind of straight and narrow, Tommy.
I'll try.
Straight and
I will
narrow.
try. You know what? The boys, I think, got a big head start on me. They didn't have to work. They're having fun. So I don't think I'll get anywhere near where they're at. But Cass, I will keep that in mind tonight. Thanks, pal.
Absolutely, buddy.
There's our game analyst, Matt Kassian, helping us break down the Oilers' 3-1 loss to the Vegas Golden Knights. It is the Oil Stream post-game show, live on location at T-Mobile Arena up in the press box. It's lonely up here. Time to get to some post-game audio and video. Let's get Zach to come to tee it up. Zach to come. You want to get on here for a quick hello and then get us going into the first bit of post-game?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
There he is.
we're here. Yeah, so I think we're going to head to Captain Conor McDavid for the first clip of tonight, Tommy.
Go for it.
There's something to be said about momentum. Maybe if this game's played before the break, you guys are just flowing in that, and all of a sudden get some time off and come here to Vegas, the rivalry, so on and so forth. Maybe could that have something to do with it? Maybe come out just on a low.
No, I liked a lot. I liked a lot of parts of our game. I thought it was a very similar game to we've played throughout the entire streak. We just don't find a way to get a win. Their goalie played well and made some big saves, and it's always a tough game in this building. We were expecting that, and disappointing, but we move on.
You build unluckiness maybe more than anything, do you think, tonight?
You know what? 2 good teams going at it. A little bit of a playoff-like atmosphere, it felt like, similar to a playoff game. Tight games happen, and you got to go out and get it, and obviously we didn't do that.
1-1 after 40, it seems like you've played a whole bunch of those in the last 16 games. Somehow all these other nights you got the puck, went off the post and in instead of off the post and out. Do you just run out of fortune at some point?
Yeah. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, we had a lot of things go right, obviously. Winning 16 straight, you got to have a lot of things go well, and you got to get some bounces, and we got some bounces. But for the most part, I thought we went out and earned our bounces and earned our luck. And like I said, tonight we didn't go out and get it. Credit to them, they make a shot and are able to clog it up just enough to get it done.
I know it's still fresh, but is there a sense of pride in doing something 16 only 3 other teams in the history of the league have done?
Yeah, it's obviously fresh. We're disappointed that we lost tonight. It's been a while since we've done that, and you forget sometimes how bad you hate losing. It's a good reminder.
It seemed unlikely that you were going to win every game the rest of the year, but the opponent tonight, does that make it frustrating to lose? To have the streak end against these guys?
We would have been frustrated if we lost against anybody. Losing is not fun in this league. No matter who you play, no matter where you are. Obviously, this is a building that it's fun to play in, and a lot of Edmonton faithful traveled, which was good to see, and disappointed we didn't get it done.
The amount of ground you've made up over the last 16 games, that puts you guys right back in the hunt. What do you think of the progress you guys have made?
Yeah, we obviously needed to have a stretch to get ourselves back in, and we've done that. So check that box and move on. We've got to play some good hockey coming down the stretch. So
can you just talk about the rivalry with the Golden Knights right now and what it's going to be like, knowing there's probably going to be at least 6 more games against the Golden Knights sometime next couple months from now?
It's a lot of hockey before that. A lot of hockey, a lot of things that we got to do, a lot of things they got to do to get to that situation. Obviously we'd love to play Vegas in a playoff series again. These games are fun, entertaining. Both fan bases are great. makes for great hockey.
It really does, and that was a lot of fun to watch that game. Tight game, two good teams going at it, coming out of the break, and a lot of chatter up here today, especially on the Vegas side too. People saying, "Hey, we could see these two teams in the first round, and maybe we are treated to that. Maybe the Oilers get their chance to atone for what happened last spring." But like Connor McDavid said, lots of hockey left to be played. Certainly, McDavid with the lone Oilers goal tonight. He was also a -1. He had 8 shots on net, 22-26 time on ice, 72% on the dot. So McDavid doing McDavid things, but wasn't enough as the Oilers fall 3-1. Zach to come. Who is next, pal?
The next one we got up here is the Swedish King on the back end. No other than Matias Ekholm.
Game like that kind of had a playoff-like atmosphere to it. What was the difference in your eyes?
We couldn't bear down on our chances, I felt. I thought we created a lot in the second, probably deserved a goal or two. And as you're saying, in these tight games, those little details, those timely goals matter in a big way. And you saw it again tonight. They got the go-ahead goal in the third, and then they held on. So, again, I think, as you said, it was a tight game. Could have gone either way. I thought we played pretty good. I think there's another level to our game, but at the same time, I thought everybody showed up and worked hard, and we just couldn't get it done tonight.
This was going to end eventually, but that it ends one game from a record, does that mean much to this organization, this team?
Not to me, at least. I can only speak for myself. I'm kind of happy. Don't have to talk about it anymore, but obviously you want to win every game you can, but at the same time, the closer we got to this whole record thing, I feel like the more and more talk it was about it. Now it's kind of behind us. We have to start a new streak and keep playing well down the stretch here to get us in a position where we want to be.
Does that weigh on guys again? Eventually, like we always bring it up, everyone's talking, but does it weigh on guys mentally? I guess just the streak.
Again, I can only talk for myself, and not really. Like I have to answer questions about it, but I mean, it's not like we're talking about it in here at all. So, for that matter, only. It's hard for me to say about other guys, but for me, it's nice not to have to talk to.
What about the opponent? Sorry, Rebecca. You guys obviously dropped Game 5 and here Game 6. To lose in this manner tonight against this team, does that kind of make it a little bit more frustrating?
I guess yes and no, but I mean, the most frustrating way to lose, in my opinion, is when you feel like you didn't give it your all, when you didn't have your A effort. I think we did tonight. I thought everybody worked hard. I thought everybody was trying their best. I thought they played well too. They're a good team. They have a good goaltender. I think we do as well. I thought Stewart's played really well. So again, it's this league. It's a hard league to win in, and they came out on top tonight. And do I feel like it's frustrating to lose? It always is, but is it a matter of more frustrating or not? I don't know.
You won one after two. You played a good defensive game. It seems like you've won this game like 11 times in the past 3 weeks. Tonight, you don't. Do you just run out of, fortune? Do you run out of making the plays? Run out of luck?
I don't think the whole win streak was all about luck or per se. I think we played a top team in the league. I think we're a top team in the league. I think the game showed it. I thought it was a competitive game. I think we have another level for sure. We just got off the break, obviously, but at the same time.
All right, there was Matias Ekholm. As the Oilers fall, some frustration there, but also acknowledging that, they had their opportunities. Yes, they couldn't bury, but it was a good stretch, and he is not dwelling on the loss. We'll go and regroup and look to get another win on Friday. I should also mention, this text comes in from Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg says, hey, this one just hurts because it's Vegas, but we had one hell of a streak. We should all be proud of the boys. Hill was an absolute monster out there tonight. That one from Nate Dogg. Ryan out of Fort Sask says we need some physical play, no scrums, need third and fourth line hitting. Was surprised Perry didn't start some crap. That's from Ryan in Fort Sask. And then Huntorio Mome says, boys, I love Cece. He's been heat value, but I find under pressure he can't handle the puck. Everyone keeps saying he's adequate, but last time I checked, adequate didn't win championships. Even if you got someone who is equal defensively, but a bit better with passing under pressure, it would be a win. And then this one, on a positive note, says number 73, Vinny, a big diesel, was awesome tonight. Let's celebrate the bottom of the lineup a little bit more when they shine. I thought he did have a good night. So good text there. A little bit of positivity on a night where the Oilers fall 3-1 to the Golden Knights. All right, Zach, to come. Let's go. We do have a couple more clips to get to. Let's run it here. Who's next here?
Next, we got Darnell Nurse.
1 after 2, you get the bounce, you get the break, you get the goal. What's the difference tonight? What doesn't happen tonight that you don't win this?
Yeah, I think obviously they defended pretty well. I mean, you're playing against a good team out there, so I think they played hard, defended well, took away the chances, limited our chances. I mean, at the end of the day, we give up two goals. There was empty net there, but I think for us, we checked and played pretty well, especially in the second and third. I thought in the first they probably had a little more bounce and jumped in us, but we move on.
Do you, in the course of winning 16 games, do you just sometimes use up your luck?
Yeah, I mean, to an extent. I would say, though, over the course of the 16 games, like, they weren't lucky wins by any means. I think we were playing the right way, and a lot of the ways you create your own luck by doing the right things on the ice. So I think over the 16 games, we good to have that winning streak. Now we move on and go try to get one in Anaheim.
Is it good to, can you now just kind of take a step back and look at that accomplishment and feel pride in that accomplishment now that it's kind of over?
Yeah, I mean, maybe tomorrow. When you lose, you doesn't matter if you've lost one in a row, 3 in a row, 116. It doesn't matter. When you lose, you got feel good leaving the rink. So tomorrow maybe we could reflect on what's gotten us to this point and helped us claw back. And like I said, there's a lot of hockey to be played here, and we got a lot of work to do. In
the big scheme of things, you guys are just trying to get back into the picture, right? You've done that, I guess. You with the start you guys had, you feel that you guys are back where you should be belonging, should be in the standings and things like that.
I mean, we're back in the hunt. I mean, we're not content by any means. I think, we worked hard to get ourselves into this position, but at the end of the night, we lost tonight to a team in our division that we played a lot over the last couple of years, and it's going to leave a bad taste in our mouth.
To expand on Speck's first question, did you feel like you had the better chances tonight? Like, just overall in terms of your game?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like one of those things you got to go back and watch, because I mean, you could have a feel on the ice and then watch, and it looks like something completely different, right? So, but we had a fair share of chances, and I think there's a lot of areas of that game that if we continue to do it, we'll continue to play good hockey over the last stretch.
Darnell, is there something to be said about momentum? If this game might have been played before the break, you guys are rolling. Was there any sort of feeling coming out tonight, being on the road after the break, maybe a little low, a little flat at all?
I think we've done a really good job of handling ourselves after breaks. We had a few breaks so far this year, so I wouldn't pick it up to that. I think for us, we know that we're capable of winning every night, and I'd say we can get that result.
All right, there's Darnell Nurse. Pretty calm, cool, and collected after the Oilers fall 3-1 to the Vegas Golden Knights. I see some text coming in, 780-218-9999. Sum it up, I think, adequately. This one from Ryan in Saskatchewan, or from Sask, says, hey, the Oilers played really well. Just looked at the underlying numbers. Those were in the Oilers' favor. Double high-danger chances. Unblocked shot attempts. The last two periods were not close. Margins were tight. Hill was really good. That was the difference. Vegas is so stingy in front of their net. Impressive, very enjoyable hockey game. Looking forward to more of that this spring. Natural stat trick, Ryan adds, says, high danger chances, Edmonton 16, Vegas with 8. Ryan, thanks for that text. And then this one from YouTube, Trev, says, talk about a swift kick in the nuts. Great show, babies. BBs. Love it, YouTube, Trev. Taco says, Tommy, you got to give Vegas credit. They're great at clogging the front of the net. It's even more challenging when Hill is playing well, too. This game gave me playoff flashbacks. Taco, agree wholeheartedly with you there. This one from the Reverend says, hey, guys, it seemed like McDavid went to the bench after the empty net goal, yelled at the bench. Any thoughts about why he's so livid? Not sure if anyone else noticed it. That's from the Reverend. Maybe it was, I don't know, like when they had the net empty, I didn't think they were that sharp. They had that Carlson attempt that they back-checked on and got the stick on it to to have the puck fly out of play, but I didn't think they were that great with the extra attacker on. Maybe that's what he was fired up about. I didn't see that, Reverend, but yeah, at post game when we saw his clips there, he didn't seem too frustrated. Kind of summed things up on an even keel. All right, Zach, to come. Let's do Chris Knoblauch. We'll hear a bit of his post game availability. Then we'll get to the Damon Bunting Remax Elite Player of the Game. Let's go to Chris Knoblauch.
You guys work so hard. You put so much time in. It seemed like a night that, again, the victory was possibly there, but it is a good team that you're facing.
No, absolutely, and they stuck with it, and I liked a lot of things about our game. Unfortunately, we came up a little short. I think a big turning point in the game was the late goal that they scored in the first period. And then just for us, just missed opportunities, whether it was goal posts or their goalie coming up big or missing maybe an empty net. But I think the chances were there, and it's probably one of our better games that we'd played in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks.
I was going to say, do you think you might have played a worse game and won during this streak than you played tonight?
What kind of reminds me of, there's always games that you play poorly and you still win, and there's games you play well and you lose. And it's a couple things, that's probably the second one I can remember of us playing really well and losing. I know the Tampa Bay game in December, very familiar, where I thought we played really well, had tons of chances, and tonight I thought we had a lot of, there was breakdowns. It wasn't a perfect game, but overall I thought the effort was good, and we just couldn't capitalize on our chances.
Chris, why did you think that Nic Roy goal was a turning point, or was it change things when you guys seemed to play pretty well and maybe carried the play in the second period?
Yeah, we absolutely did, but just having that 1-goal lead, they have to change how they play. They have to open it up. That leads to our advantage. The second period was our best period. I thought we carried a lot of the play in the second period, but just having the 1-0 lead going into the second is a lot different than being tied.
Between your last 2 losses from December 19th to February 6th, Chris, what did you learn most about your group?
Resilient, calm, very mature team, and are very focused on winning. And yes, every single player likes to get the goals and assists, no matter if they're first or fourth line player, but their commitment to winning and doing things well defensively was very, very proud of them.
Now the streak is over. Can you reflect on how much ground you've made up in the standings here?
We did an exceptional job, and we, to be in the position where we are right now, we have some breathing room right now, and we're not happy, we're not content. We want to move up in the standings, whether that's second place in the Pacific, maybe the first. Who knows what happens with another streak or whatever, but we want to be playing really good hockey when we get into the playoffs. And right now I think we've been building a pretty good game. There's things that we need to work on, and we will, but I like where we're going.
Is keeping this thing going, is it mentally taxing at all for you guys and the players in there, or do you really just go one game at a time and just let the wins kind of pile up?
We do approach every game one game at a time, but it's an 82-game schedule, and it's tough to bring your best every night, and you don't know what you're going to get from the opposition. The opposition comes out and they have unbelievable games, and even if you are pretty good, sometimes it's not good enough, and I think that kind of showed tonight. I thought we were pretty good, but it just wasn't good enough tonight.
All right, there's Chris Knoblauch, his team falling for the first time since that loss to the Islanders back on December 19th. Did like a lot of the elements of his team's game second period. They did create a lot of offensive opportunities. Aiden Hill up to the challenge, obviously, and then as Knoblauch described there, when the Oilers did go down a goal and Vegas was able to shut things down, they are stingy on defense. All right, let's get to the next order of business as we wind things down here on the Oil Stream post-game show live on location at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Time now for the Damon Bunting Remax Elite Player of the Game. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Remax Realtors. He and his team love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, Damon Bunting understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. The Damon Bunting Player of the Game, Zach to come, is who?
Vinny Desharnais.
Ooh.
Tonight for him, he was the one who made the play to poke the puck out for McDavid and Draisaitl to get that 2-on-0. He's been noticeable, and he's played a superb season so far for the Oilers. And tonight he played a very strong game in the loss. And that's why I give him the Damon Bunting Player of the Game.
I love it. Good job, Zacticum. Nicely done. Let's read a couple more texts to wrap things up. This one says, good news is that a new streak starts on Friday. The Oilers could try to get that going against the Anaheim Ducks. Certainly, Atif says, Tommy, I'm not frustrated with the Oilers. They were going to lose eventually. Congratulations on the 16-game winning streak. There's still time to start another streak. I hope you're enjoying Vegas. And did you end up meeting with Dusty LTE this morning, as I thought that you were not in Vegas? How is T-Mobile Arena? Is it a nice arena? Have a good, safe rest of your trip, Atif. Atif, thank you very much. Very nice arena, great energy. If you ever get a chance to come here and watch a game, I highly recommend it. Yes, I was on the hangout with the boys. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Another day of full programming from Vegas. And then we're all back Thursday, Friday-ish, and we'll be ready to rock. We do have the Super Bowl party at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Sunday as well. I want to remind people about that. And I saw this text come in from Mike in Calgary. Says, Tommy, cut the cord. Power failure. Go party. You know what, Mike? I think I'm going to go join some of the Oilers fans out and about on the Strip tonight as the Oilers do fall 3-1 to the Vegas Golden Knights. Let's see if they can get it going Friday night in Anaheim, and maybe they get another streak started. So that's going to do it for the Oil Stream post-game show live from T-Mobile Arena. To everyone who tuned in, listened, watched, all that good stuff, appreciate you so very, very much. Hit that thumbs up button on the way out. And for Matt Kassian and Zacticum, I'm Tom Gazzola saying enjoy your night, Oil Country. Stay warm. Talk to you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.